Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day, wherever it is this meets you today. Thank you all for joining me. If you are here right now, you can drop hi in the chat box. If you're watching a replay, you can put hashtag replay and tell me wherever it is that you're watching me from. My name is Tobiloba. I am reaching you live from Pretoria, South Africa. First off, thank you so much for yesterday. Yesterday, the turnout, the response was massive. It was Ayobami Ayola. Thank you for joining me. As I was saying, the response was massive. It was mind blowing with amazing comments and critiques here and there. And I am so grateful. I am so happy. You guys made me feel like I've been doing this for forever, but I am so glad. And also I got a whole lot of questions about what it is exactly that I do and all of that. Well, I am a content writer. I'm a content creator, content writing for entrepreneurs, content creations for TV shows, radio shows, and all of that. Thank you so much, Samuel Olawi, for joining me. And while I am working, like I always say on my wall, many people also asked me if I am a coach or something. I am working, I'm getting there. But I am of this firm belief that it's either you come out or you go big. It's either you go big or you go home. Hence, I have not added that to who I am yet. That is coming. But until that comes, all I can do is just to keep dishing out values, and I am so grateful for joining me. So yesterday we spoke about improving one's employability, and I'm sure you had a whole lot of insights. You gained a lot of value because I learned a lot also. Things that I didn't even know I was writing when I was putting them down. They came to me, and I am so grateful. Okay, so moving on. Today we're talking about goals. Goals. Yes, we spoke about improving employability, doing this, doing that, gaining value, of dishing out value and all of that. If you do not have a goal, or let me just believe that there's nobody who does not have a goal. If there's anybody who does not have a goal, then maybe this would really change your mind, to start, it will bring you to self-reflection, self-awareness, and, you start to think, you start to look inwards. So this video is for you who has big dreams, you who has that you have a whole lot of things ahead for you in future, but now how to put it together and how to achieve them. Okay, so today, like I said, I'm talking about how to set your goals and how to achieve them. What are goals? Goals, first things first, there is no goal that is not personal. Like there is no commercial goal or whatever goal that you have it has something to do with you personally. Okeremeta Hope. I hope I pronounced your name properly. Thank you so much for joining me. So personal goals are the expressions of things you want to achieve for yourself in life. Those things you want to achieve. I remember when I was I think all of us went through this when we were in primary school. Then the teacher would come up and say, okay, so Ade, what do you want to be in future? Ade will stand up and be like, I want to be a businessman. This one will say, I want to be a policewoman or a medical doctor or a this or a that, So we all have something. We all have something embedded in us. We all have something to give to the world. How then do we now achieve those things? You see, how then do we bring those things to fruition? How do we live that life that we are supposed, to live? So there is getting big, becoming the Richard Bransons, the John Maxwells, these big people that we look up, even in the coaching industry, becoming the Africans, the Omobabiris, the brand polishers, becoming those people or becoming very big in your niche, actually, it takes a lot. And one of the ways that you can easily get there is to set your goals. So, goals will keep you on track. It will help you to cut off some excesses and, bring in some important things. So today, like I said, You see, setting goals guides your vision of the future. It guides the vision of that future you want to create yourself. So now you need to learn how to set your goals right. You need to learn how to set them the right way so that they can give you the best chance of achieving your goals and making progress on things that are most important to you in life and in your business. Like I said, goals, like I said, goals are expressions of the things you want to achieve in your own life. There could be business goals, there could be family goals, there could be lifestyle goals, there could be, in your relationships, in your networks, and all of that. So there are some things that you need to do, or there are some things you want to achieve. You have to set goals. Goal is a very big strategy towards achieving your own life. If you set goals, you tend to be more self-motivated, you tend to be more positive. So, and we most times we come across these things when they say, oh, short terms, what are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? Yes, goals can be short-term or long-term, but both of them they provide you with a long-term direction and motivation, because that short-term goal has something to do in the long run. It has something to do in the long term. I don't know if you understand me. If you are understanding what I'm saying, or if you are getting me correctly, please put them in the comment box. Kayode Masha, thank you so much for joining me and for standing by. So, there is a long list, a whole long list of what your goals can be about. There are so many goals that you can actually draw up for yourself. That is, you want to learn something new every week. It could be for you to work out every morning, either to lose weight or to build, muscles. It can be that to keep a daily journal. It can be to volunteer at a non-profit every Monday. It could be to clear your debt in 6 months. It could be to speak up, to increase your visibility, or to increase your listening or improve your listening skills, or improving on your emotional intelligence, start networking, volunteer regularly, increase your spirituality, keeping records of key events, like keeping it in journal or in diary, like we usually say, or improving on your emotional intelligence. You see, there are so many things that are embedded in our personal development, our personal goals, that you have to, or personal dreams, yes, our personal dreams that you have to set, a goal for. You have to set a goal in your life, in your personal life and work. Goals give you direction. They allow you to split your project into manageable pieces. When you break something down, it is very, very easy for you to be able to achieve them. It is easier to achieve when you break things down, when you break your plans down into bits and pieces. You have a greater chance of achieving them more quickly than if you want to do them in a whole chunk. So, and you have to hold yourself, and they help you, setting goals help you to hold yourself accountable along the way. But setting goals is the only first step. It's only a first step to doing these things. I remember that every year, each and every year, in fact, every month, sometimes every week, we wake up and we say, oh, I must do this before the end of this week. Or even every day. Oh, before the end of today, I want to do this thing. For me, I'm raising up my hand to say I am one of those, very, very funny people. I am on that table. I can say I want to do this thing today, like I have to do this thing today. But if I do not set it, if I do not set a goal, if I do not keep myself or hold myself accountable, I end up not doing nothing. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, I said I wanted to do this thing, but okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And before you know it, time keeps going. You just keep wasting, not spending time. You just keep losing time. And time does not wait for anyone. It's just like when you say, oh, I'm 30 now. Before I now go and apply for a degree or kineko, and you want to be a lawyer. If you do not study, you cannot be a lawyer. But then you say, oh, because I'm 30. Ade Omade, thank you so much for joining me. Because you feel like you are old now but you want to be a lawyer. How can you be a lawyer if you don't study? There is no way if you don't go to the university or attend the law school. So how then do you achieve, your goal? You cannot just, if you want to actually accomplish your goals, you cannot just think of the finish line. Yes, the finish line is for me to be a top ranking coach, international speaker, even musically. I want to be this person. I want to be on The Voice, whether Nigeria or America. I want to be a judge. I want to be a coach. But there are little things that I have to put in place. If I don't put those things in place, then nothing is going to happen. It won't happen. It will just remain a wishful thinking, and nothing can be done, and that will be nobody's fault. So you cannot just think of your finish line when you are, to accomplish your goals. You need to set yourself up to reach it. You need to strategize on how to run the race. And like we used to say, even biblically, they will say the race is not for the swift. Yes. And then on the street, we will say, hold your transport if you waka with people, they go somewhere or somehow they say where they put that thing. But the bottom line remains that if you do not know, or they say a little more way, no more way, yes, that's much better. If you do not know how to or what to do or how to do it to achieve or to accomplish your goals, then you will never reach those goals. They will just remain there. They will just remain, wishful thinking. So today I have come to speak to us on, how to set and achieve our goals. There are a whole lot of ways to do it. And I know that a lot of people have spoken about it, but, I am also adding my voice to it. So you gain something, as I am also learning something. If you are with me, please drop, the comment in the, drop your comment in the comment box, and so that I can see you. If you are joining us or if you are joining me, thank you so much for joining. If you are still here, thank you for standing by. One of the ways to really accomplish your goals is to start small. You see, even the Bible says, do not despise the day of little beginnings, right? So you have to start small. You have to choose easy, achievable goals. Okay, maybe you are this person who feels you take too much of coffee, especially if you live in a place where there is so much cold and all of that. Yes, there is need for coffee. In fact, sometimes there is need for kai. Let us not lie. Sometimes doesn't mean I take it anyways, but it's just the truth. So if you say you want to quit coffee altogether, maybe because you have been taking too much of caffeine from it, or even all this fizzle drink and all of that, you need to take it one step at a time. You cannot just wake up and say, oh, I want to stop taking frizzled drink. Like, I don't want to mention brand names, but you cannot just wake up and say, I want to stop taking frizzled drinks. So you stop like that day. It's not going to work. In 30 minutes, your mind is going back there, and you wouldn't have any other choice than to go to it. So you have to, take it one step at a time. If you say you want to wake up earlier than you used to, you have to build the habits bit by bit, so that when you take it, in bits and in pieces, you'll be mentally focused and you'll be ready to tackle bigger obstacles. Like, let's say you want to change your career, or getting into shape. If you feel you're obese or something, or if you're like me who is obsessed with flat tummy. I love flat tummy. I don't know about you, but me, I love it. I love to have flat tummy. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Abiola Adeleke. Yes, thank you so much. So, like I said, starting small to be able to achieve your, goals. That is one. The other one is finding your life's purpose. You see, this part, I am so interested in it, and as I go in my journey, to helping people, to transforming lives, I feel like I am more attracted to helping people gain discovery, to discover themselves. You need to discover yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to really discern who you are first before you now start setting your goals. Because if you do not know your personality, if you do not know, the kind of value that you hold there, if you do not know so many things about yourself, then there is no way that you will set any goal and you will achieve it. There is no way. It's not going to happen because it's not magic. So you need to find your life's purpose. And when you find it, you will be able to stay consistent. Because if you don't have a purpose, everybody is just doing this course, so hey, we are doing it. Okay, an example is when they say, oh, there is web development course going on somewhere here and there, and everybody is just going to do it. Oh, content creation or copyright, you are there. And then they say graphics design, you are there. They say this one, they say you are just you'll be everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. And there is no way you can be everywhere for you to be, to be settled. You can't be stable. And your consistency level would definitely drop. Oyindamola Sam Oneliva herself, thank you so much for joining me. You're glad. I am glad you got value. Thank you. You are getting value. Thank you so much. The other way for you to, achieving your goals is to set a specific day. You must have a day. Like I said, maybe you want to clear out your debts. You cannot say, I will clear out my debts. So when? No, my sister or my brother, when? You must set out, a specific date, especially when you want to achieve your long-term goals. If you say, oh, I'm crossing from this particular career to another career, you are making the reroute on your career. You have to be able to set a particular time, especially when the money that you need is there. Thank you so much, Ferejesu, for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for standing by. God bless you all. So you need to set a date for your goals. You need to set a date, and you must create, meaningful deadlines so that you feel obligated to work hard every day. You see, when they say people are self-motivated and everything, there is even people who are the most self-motivated people, they still need someone to, push them, press some buttons here and there. You still need something to remind you. Maybe it's a debt. You still need to remember that, okay, if I don't pay a part of my debt this month, then the bank is coming to probably take over my house or something. So those are just a little bit. Now I really want to go in depth on ways, to set ground rules for yourself. Because there has to be ground rules. You cannot just go and be a blind or a one-eyed person in the village or in the city of blind people. Exactly. We all need a push. We all need that person that will give you, just pinch you once in a while and set you right. Exactly. Thank you so much. Olarotimi Olujimi, thank you for joining me. Oyindamola Sam Oliver, thank you for standing by. So now going in depth on how to achieve, those goals of yours. They are beautiful and the future is bright. Trust me, everybody has a colorful future ahead of them. That is one truth. That's one thing I remind myself of each and every time it feels like things are not going really right. But one of the ways for you to achieve that great future, Funsho AJ Sotubo, thank you for joining me, is to make that goal SMART. S-M-A-R-T. Pardon me. S-M-A-R-T. First thing is make it specific. You cannot say, I want to get married, I want to reroute my career, and then I want to slim down at a go. No, you have to take it one after the other. Omega Okomoyo, thank you so much for joining me. You have to take this one step at a time. Brandy sang that song one step at a time. In fact, almost every great musician I've known have sang the song. Almost every great pastors or mufundis, like South Africans will say, I've sang that song. You have to be specific. You cannot put like 3 or 4, 5 irons. In fact, you can't put 2 inside the fire at the same time. Your mental health will suffer for it. Your physical health will suffer for it. Your finances, your psychological health will suffer for it. So you have to be specific. If the goal is for you to pay your debt by December, please focus on it. You cannot say you want to pay your debt and then you want to still start applying for one course or the other again. No, it can't work. It will not work. So the first thing is for it to be specific. That is the first way of setting, smart, just setting your goals the smart way. So the second word is for it to be measurable. A goal can be specific but not measurable. You might want to, okay, let's say you want to become a father, a better father in the new year. But by what standards will you judge yourself? So you need to go like in depth. You need to say, oh, I want to become a better father by maybe coming home early, being a better husband, because by the virtue of being a better husband, then you can be a better father. Thank you so much. It's Godwin. Thank you. But the way that you treat your wife is the way your kids will view you. Then they will say, oh, your girl child can now say, oh, I want to marry a man like my dad. That is one very big way of being a better father. Oh, maybe you didn't used to pay their school fees or something before. You do that. You must have a standard to judge yourself. You cannot just say, I want to be a better father by the new year. By what? There must be a particular reason. You see, so those standards are obvious for goals. You know, like saving money, or for something like becoming you need to come up with proxies. You need to proxies. If you are worried that you don't spend enough time with your family or with your wife or with your husband or with your kids, yes, maybe you want to measure the time that you want to spend with them. Like fathers who are always very busy, always traveling, you know. If you say I want to be a better father by spending time with my kids, oh, maybe every weekend I take my kids out on the beach, or you know, I stay with them, I be with them some more. You must just be able to measure it. Yes. The other point is for your goals to be attainable. Don't say you want to achieve G before you start achieving B. You know, you must follow the process. Specific and measurable goals aren't necessarily attainable too. They are not. It might not, if you're trying to get a good fit, you realize that you won't be able to run marathon by, you must just set a goal that is attainable, something that is achievable. Don't go too high, especially when you are just starting. Don't go beyond what your power can carry. No, it does not work that way. It does not work. It cannot even work. You must make sure that your goals are attainable or achievable as it may. The next point is for your goal to remain relevant. You know, if you have a normal body weight, like your weight and your height and everything and your BMI is right, is on point, why then do you still want to lose weight? Is it because they say skinny people or skinny ladies are the ones reigning or what? Why do you still want to lose weight? If you have, you just have to try as much as possible to make sure that your goals, make sure they are relevant. If relevance is also important for two less obvious reasons, If your goal doesn't actually matter to you, you will struggle to stick with it. Okay, let's say you still want to gain weight. Let's say, okay, your body weight is much bigger. Why? Is it because you want to be more healthy, which is a very good point, or because your career or your job, you need to fit into some certain kind of clothes? I talk a whole lot more about creatives, artists and all of that. They need to remain like a particular body shape, structure, the face, the nose, everything. Yes, those are relevant goals. Those are relevant reasons. The other one is for you to be time dependent. You must time it. I have stressed that you must just you must time it. Every goal has an opportunity cost. Working towards one means that you can't use that time to do something else. I have said that. That is just for number one, the SMART goals, setting your SMART goals. Now talking of number two. You see, in this world today, in the world of today, every one of us has come up with this thing of I don't owe anybody anything, like I can do what I like, it's my life. You cannot just put your mouth where you are not invited and what and all of that. But see, on a serious note, you need to think about others when you are setting your goals. Very few real achievements involve just one person. For you to achieve a very big thing, heavy thing, you have to be a team player. You have to think about other people. You cannot just wake up and just say, yes, I want to do it, and it just has to be done. Imagine, let's say siblings. You are siblings and something has happened and every one of you needed to do something about it. or something maybe tragic has happened, you need to communicate with your siblings. Whether you are the youngest or you are the eldest, it doesn't matter. You have to be a team player. That is how to set goals and to achieve great things. That is how to set and achieve great things. You have to learn that you are not the only member of your family who would like to get that thing done. No. Oluwashaki Kehinde, thank you so much for joining me. Olamide, thank you for joining me. Thank you everyone for standing by also. God bless you. So you need to think about others. You need to prioritize whether you need to decide whether this goal would positively affect or benefit everyone that is in that, that environment with you. As a leader, as a boss, you cannot just wake up and say, yes, we must just do this and do that. No. Rocky J. Oladunjoye, thank you for joining me. No. You must also think about the people who are working with you. You must think about their comfortability. You must think about their adaptability. You must think about so many things. The one that really pays me most is that one of family. Oh, because I'm the older one, so whatever I say must just happen. You are not thinking about your younger ones. It is very, very wrong. That is number 2. The third one is know your why. You see, there is nothing that happens on this surface of the earth that does not have a why. There must be a why something happened. There must be a why. And that is why it is important that to maximize both your time and your chances of achieving a goal, it is important to stay inspired. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to change your career? Okay, someone was telling me, oh, please, I need to get a writing done, to apply for financial scholarship for a particular course. And I asked, why do you need or why do you want to do that course? The person laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Quack, quack, quack. Yes, it's true. But you must have a reason why. You must think deeper than any more money or being healthier. No. It is, life goes deeper than that. Do you want to build a better life for your family? Is seeing your kids graduate, college, what gets you out of bed every day? I remember when I just got into South Africa and I got that job I told you guys about, where they were paying me at the conversion rate was just like 20,000 naira. And each and every time I go to that job, I get tired. But when I remember I say, that energy just comes. So it goes beyond, I just want to make money, I just want to be healthy, I just want to look finer. No, there has to be something that is pushing you. There has to be a big why. That why has to be big enough. So now, that's the third point. Moving on to the fourth point is look at the long term. You see, short goals have value, but they should really be seen as steps towards long-term goals. I said that from the start that, okay, then when they say, what are your short-term goals or your long-term goals, then you say, those ones are short-term, so it's fine. No, but that, you see, those short-term goals, they are paving the way, they are clearing your path towards your long-term goals. So if you say you want to build a legacy and all of that, there are things you need to start doing. As a person, I am working on building a very large empire. The world is not ready. But I have to start now. Hence, I am doing what I'm doing now. I love helping people. I love bringing transformations. I love speaking. I love doing, great things. I love doing things that many people will be like, let me just stay, I cannot really cope. But I enjoy doing them. And that is why I'm doing all of those things right now. If the person who has Glow, or the person who owns MTN, the person who owns this and that, all of those big Dangote, if those people did not start something, when Dangote started, I remember that I was told that he started with a talk shop, a talk shop where people just go and buy bread, and this one, that one. And before you know it, the Okoyas, if they didn't start from somewhere, those things are short-term goals. Short-term goals is, okay, I opened a talk shop and now it's at least bringing me money. I started an errand services, and now at least it's bringing me money. What is the long-term goal? What do you get? What do you wish to attain at the end of the day? Building legacy, like what do you wish to leave behind? So that when you're gone, your children, your family, they will really feel proud of being associated with you. So we must always view, you see, that short-term goals as, steps towards achieving your long-term goals. Sekinat Omo, thank you so much for joining me. The fifth point, this video is not going to be so long, it's just rounding up, but I'm glad that I'm able to, give us value. Yorubas will say, ki don ko po. It doesn't have to be so long, it doesn't have to be so much, it is just the value, the transformation that you are able to make within the very, the bravest of time. So now the fifth point is putting first things first. You cannot put the cart before the horse. It won't move. Edith Buzugbe Abure, thank you so much for joining me, ma'am. Thank you. God bless you. And thank you everyone for standing by. Thank you so much. Putting the first things first. Like I said, you cannot start like Z before you do letter C. It won't work. You must learn to follow processes. You must learn to set priorities and set it right. You can always start with a very simple question of what do I want to achieve today? That's important, because without a specific plan of action for the day, it is too easy. It's very easy to get caught up in little things. Sometimes when you even say you have a plan of, after I wake up, I brush my teeth or I pray or whatever, in whatever way that you do yours. Olajunwolo Solomon, thank you for joining me. In whatever way that you do yours, even when you have a plan, sometimes all these little things still come, and then they still tend to try to divert your attention. And that is if you have a plan. Now imagine if you don't have any plan, if you did not prioritize. The truth is, most of you will do in a day, probably what most of us will do in a day, they won't get us closer to our goals. Things like answering mails, cooking meals, commuting, all of these things have to happen. When you have to be on transit, when you have to go, But they are best, you see, those things I've mentioned are best seen as chores rather than steps forward. Rukayat Salami, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everyone for standing by. So these things are better seen as chores. It is normal for you to commute from your work to your place, from your home to church or whatever it is that you want to go to, or to that soccer field, or to that rehearsal ground, or to that music room, wherever it is you want to go. Thank you so much, right? It is the spirit. Indeed, ma'am. Indeed. So these chores have to happen. And when they happen, they are norms, they are chores. Don't see them as step forward. It is about those things of, what exactly is it that you want to do? You want to be a star actress. What are you doing about it? Are you rehearsing your monologues every day? I want to be a great chef. What are you doing about it? Are you practicing recipes? Are you putting out recipes? Are you researching recipes? Are you, I want to be a fashion designer, a very big fashion designer. That is the long-term goal. What are you doing about it today? How do you get there if you don't start now? There is no way. So it is very good for us to identify some things as chores, and then identify some things that are steps forward. That is number 5. Number 6, be humble. Hell, be humble. Humility is key. Whether you are working on a solo goal or the one that involves a whole team, recognize that others' ideas can help you achieve it faster and more effectively. There is no tree can form a forest. Never. I would rather say it in Yoruba. Igi kan dagbo se, igi kan ò lè dá igbó se. If you feel like you are there, up there, you will see that the advice or the idea of a very little child can bring massive change. And if you are that person who does not listen, who is not thinking about others, then you will have missed out. And then you have to go on the same spot. You have to do merry-go-round, ring around the roses like 1,000 times, just because you were not ready to listen to what someone else has to say. Always assume that the person you are interacting with has something valuable to tell you. and be open with people with what you want to achieve and humbly accept their input. You see, this particular point, you have to do it with discernment though, because there are some people that when you share, your ideas and things that you want to achieve, especially when it is business, career-wise, or, especially in the artistic world, if you're in the artistic world and you're on this call, you understand it. You share, oh, I have this show that I want to do, and then you share it, hoping to hear maybe one or two things that can make the show better or something. Before you know it, you see the show there, it's running on, whether on TV or radio or whatever. It is running, and then you are like, even those that are doing offering services, digital services. Oh, I learned how to do this thing, blah 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 blah. Yes, the sky is so wide for for birds to fly, but it's not about people now having this imposter syndrome or grabbing what is not theirs. So there are some people like that if you don't just tell them your dreams and your aspirations. If you tell them, just forget it, they are not yours anymore. But at the same time, be open. That is why the spirit of discernment is key. It's very, very important. You need to, be able to discern. You need the discerning spirit to know who to speak to and who not to speak to. Finally, give yourself some credit. Like right now, I am dancing for at least 35 minutes. My Ugbagba dance. I'm doing it for 35 minutes. You know why? I am giving myself some credit. Most goals worth setting are achieved in phases. I am on a journey towards being a great coach, a thought leader, an international speaker, musically a coach on The Voice, and those things. Yes, they are coming. But now I have been able to, structure them into phases. I've been able to put them in beats. That is part of it, is coming, online, doing this, becoming more visible, speaking my own truth, opening my mouth more, networking also, with people. So when setting goals, think about the waypoints you expect to see along the way. Say, like I've been saying this thing, and so say you hope to become a CEO one day. You can't expect to leap straight from to the top. So consider what roles you might want to hold first. You want to become the CEO, but you don't want to be the sales manager, or you don't want to be the sales rep first, or the sales boy on the floor. Then from there, sales rep, from there, sales manager, from there, sales consultant, from there, sales this, up to, excuse me, if you cannot follow that ladder, it's about following the ladder. If you cannot follow that ladder, then you cannot get there. But with each ladder that you conquer, or with each step that you conquer, you have to learn to celebrate yourself. You just have to learn to enjoy and to appreciate, your tenacity, your courage, the fact that you have done so many things afraid. You have to be able to celebrate those wins. No win is too small or too large. So when you earn your first managerial role, go visit a park, somewhere, something that you have always wanted to do. Once you become the vice president, take that European vacation. Come on, reward yourself with a cruise. Go for body spa, for treatment. Do these things. When I first learned fashion designing, after I finished it and they taught us, and then I made my own first pant and top. You needed to see me that day. I was there by the South African State Theatre. I enjoyed shows. It's not like that money is so plenty, but I just went there and decided that, no, I have done something good for myself. I have really done something good, and I felt so proud about myself. So, and that is the 7th goal. Just a quick recap before I go. How do you achieve, your goals in that, 7 rules or 7 ground rules for you to achieve your goals? That is number 1 is setting goals the smart way. The smart being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time dependent. The second point is thinking about others. Don't think you are alone. You are never alone, and you are accountable to some people. That's the second point. The third point is knowing your why. Why are you doing it? Why do you want to be rich? Why do you want to be wealthy? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to be anything you want to be. Not just because you can, no, because it's a circle of life. And what you do affects this next person, then affects that next person. So you must also think about your why and think about other people. That's the third one. The fourth one is look at the long term. Look at your short-term goals as steps towards your long-term goals. Number 5 is putting the first things first. Do first things first. You cannot wake up and the first thing you do is eat. No. You need to still lay your bed, say your prayers, observe your quiet times, or however you want to do it. At least brush. Let's say you are lazy. You are some Christians. I agree, they say Jesus does not bath. That's a joke anyways. So, you have to, look at the long-term goals. You have to look at the long-term and take your short-term, as steps towards the long-term. The fifth one is putting things first. Like I said, yes, prioritize. You have to learn how to prioritize and to do things very well. Then be humble. That's the sixth one. And the seventh one is give yourself some credit. Okay, so that is it for today. And I thank you all so much for joining me and for staying tuned. I appreciate your support, and it has been so tremendous, and it is pushing me to do more. While I am still working on putting structures in place. I am also a content writer. I'm a social media, manager. I can manage your social media pages. I write your content, I can even be your ambassador, like I was speaking to someone earlier today. Stella Maris or Clebe, don't worry, you've missed just a little bit, but you'll find it later. Thank you so much for joining me, So I do all of those while I work towards being a personality development coach and a career and leadership, growth expert. So now I did a live yesterday and I have done a live today. There is a plan. I have a plan. First is the plan. The live that I did yesterday was supposed to come actually on Monday. So I feel like the Mondays should be for career and leadership development. Wednesdays should be for personal development, what we have just done. And on Friday, Mama T, Tinuke Arulo, thank you so much for joining me, ma'am. You came a little bit late though, but it's fine. You can always watch, catch the replay. So, and on Fridays, I have not really decided to either give us folk tales or musical nights. There is so much stress. It's not just alone in Nigeria. It's not just only in Nigeria. Everywhere in the world, there is so much stress. So there is a need to, really, really relax and just enjoy ourselves. So maybe on Friday nights, it might be storytelling the way we were taught, like the way I was told storytelling from my grandparents and all of that, or music. Either ways, just expect something on Friday. Something's also on Friday. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you will join me live. Thank you for always commenting and liking and sharing my posts. And I look forward to your feedbacks, because that is what will help me to get better also at my craft. Thank you so much for joining me and for standing by. I love you all so very much. Have a good evening, people. I am Tobilo Baolade. I'm reaching you from South Africa. Bye. Okay.